I'm very happy to have the possibility to speak here in Gombe at this famous place with Dr. Anthony Collins, who was for many years, since 1972, co-worker of Jane Goodall, who lately died. And this is this historical place where also we can, I had the possibility to see all her the environment in which she worked and to see a lot of chimpanzees today and also a lot of baboons. Um, Yesterday we had a little talk, and for me as a psychoanalyst, this was really very interesting to hear about those infant things of chimpanzees, but also baboons. You told me that there are different kinds of infanticide of chimpanzees. How long does one know that this exists? Is this a quite new knowledge, or
Well, Jane Goodall's research, she focused mainly on the mothers and the way they look after their children. So one of the main messages which came from Jane Goodall was that chimpanzees are very careful in the way they bring up their children. The mothers look after their children very carefully, and even the other members of the family, their older brothers, sisters, they help to look after the baby. So that was a positive story. And a chimp has a baby every 5 years. So if you're very lucky as a chimp, you get a lot of care from your mother up until your next younger brother or sister is born 5 years later. However, after some years of living with the chimps, Jane found a case of one female who killed the baby of another female and ate it. Okay. And not only once, she was seen to do it twice. And then the other chimpanzees' attitude to her showed that they knew she was dangerous and she might try to take their babies. And a number of other babies disappeared around in those period of 3 or 4 years. And it was implied that she had killed them. So what are you supposed to think about that? Initially you think, oh, this chimpanzee, she's crazy. She's wrong in the head. Her mentality is wrong. Or she just discovered you can get meat very easily by killing your fellow species babies. It's just something she discovered. But anyway, it's an aberrant behavior, not normal. So, after about 15 years of research, 2 of Jane's assistants were in the forest one day and they came upon 2 females chimps sitting in a tree eating meat. And you know they like to eat meat. They eat baby monkeys, baby pigs, baby antelopes, baby baboons, I'm sorry to say. So they thought this is what is happening. But they looked, and it looked as though what the animal they were eating was not one of those. It appeared perhaps to be a baby chimp, and they were astonished by that. Then they looked nearby. There's another female who had recently had a baby, and her baby was gone. Okay. So they had to conclude, they didn't see it, but they had to conclude that these females had stolen the baby from their other female. And that was a shock. And so we had to think about that. And then over the years, some more cases have happened. I mean, lately, at least once every 5 years, sometimes once every 2 years, even twice a year sometimes, we find that females are killing other females' babies. And you want to say why? Because firstly, we're here for chimpanzee conservation. We want the chimpanzees to thrive and be many, and yet you try your best to help them, and then they go around killing each other. So it's disappointing. But when we watched, there was a pattern to it, and the pattern is this. Chimpanzees live in separate societies, and the chimpanzee society is a group of males who are all related to each other. It is the grandfather, the father, the brother, the uncles, the cousins. They're all males working together to establish as big a territory as possible. And in that territory, there is food and there's space for females, more females. Okay. Bigger territory, more females. Okay? So that's how they operate. Now, and they're very fierce in their territoriality. They have like warfare almost to defend the borders. But coming back to the females, if you're a female and you grow up in that society, when you are attractive for mating, attractive to males, all the males around are your father, your grandfather, your cousin, your uncle, your brother. Okay? So there's a hereditary reason, or you should not stay and breed with your family. You should move. It's very common across many, many mammals that one sex, the males or the females, they disperse to avoid breeding with their own bloodline. So in chimpanzees, it's the females who have to disperse. And in Gombe, about half of them leave the mother's group and live somewhere else and mate with other males. And some of them stay behind because they benefit from the mother's high position.
You speak about the groups inside this national park? Or?
Inside the park, yes. I mean, I'm talking about leaving the group.
Yeah.
The female grows up in one group. All the males are her bloodline.
Yeah.
So she moves to the next group, the next door. Now, when she goes there, the females there have a kind of a relationship among females that they all have like an area which they prefer, each one. Like she mainly lives here. That one, she mainly lives in the next valley.
Yeah.
That one, you'll find the same valley but higher up. They each have a core area of themselves, although they can move anywhere within the territory if food is short. Yet anyway, they each have a kind of a location. Right, so there's like a jigsaw or a mosaic of females on the ground. So another female comes in here. Those females who are there, they do not want her.
Yeah.
Because she's competing with them for space, competing with them for food, competing for the attention of the males, and especially her children will be in competition with your children.
Yeah.
So they're very brutal, and they attack them and try to chase these young females out.
Okay.
And I mean, they can be badly wounded. The female may leave here for a week. She comes back a week later. She's got bad wounds. She's got a gash on her ear, cut on her face, and she may stay for some time. Then she may leave again later, or she may just give up and stay.
In her old group, she is still safe when she comes back.
She's safe, yeah. Okay, so if you look at it from the point of view of the females who are there, this female, she tried to come in. We tried to get rid of her, and we failed because she's stuck with the males, and in the end, we can't get rid of her. However, when she has a child, they will try to kill her child.
Okay.
So it's competition for resources and competition for space. You want that female to be gone, okay, you failed. So at least you can stop her breeding.
Okay.
So that's why. And they kill them and they eat them. And what we found is within the group, there are some females are more likely to be killers than others.
Okay.
So there's like a personality effect or a cultural effect that some are more infanticidal than others.
Probably also some inherited component.
Yeah, it might be inherited, or it may be from the parent. For example, there was one female who tended to kill, and so her daughter also tended to kill. Okay? She just learned it from her mother. So that is a bad thing. So that is females killing babies is one kind of infanticide.
Okay. One question in between. Do you have some kind of percentage? How many of the babies are killed by infanticide of any kind?
I don't have the data in my head, and I'm not a chimpanzee researcher.
Yeah.
But I would say it's at least 5%. It could be 7% or 10%.
Oh, yeah.
Might be killed by infanticide.
Okay.
But there are chimpanzees also kill one another for other reasons as well.
Okay.
So there are a number of deaths just caused by conflicts within. Sometimes conflict within the group. In the northern community, no. Let me just, if you want. Do you want me to talk more about infanticide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the first infanticides ever seen was from a male killing a baby of the neighboring territory.
Okay.
Like I said, the males occupy territory, and they will try to expand their border into the neighbor's territory. And when they meet when they meet the neighbors, they will be very aggressive to them. And if they are unequal in numbers, then they will attack and try to fight the minority. And there was a case that a conflict on the border had happened, and a male came and he caught the baby from the neighboring community and killed the baby.
Yeah.
So babies can be killed in territorial warfare.
Yeah. There's a different kind of killing.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, it's more like human wars, whereas the other thing is not so much comparable to anything in humans.
Well, I hope not. I mean, there's competition between families, even in humans, if
Yeah,
you think about
yeah.
it. But not to the point of violence or death,
Yeah,
luckily.
yeah,
There's one other way that babies sometimes die, is they're killed by a male in their own community.
yeah,
And this again doesn't make sense. You say they're carving out a big territory, so there are many females and they can breed properly, ideally have many offspring, okay?
yeah,
So why is a male killing a baby within its own society?
yeah,
Because if it's not his own child, it's the child of his brother or his cousin or his father,
yeah.
whatever. So they should be related, so they shouldn't be killing. But we find some few cases of males who are in good relationship with the female and the baby. They sometimes suddenly they turn and they kill the baby
That's,
for no obvious reason. And the first case we saw, we couldn't understand it. But what then happened was that the female then had another baby, and the same male tried to kill that baby.
okay.
And actually the baby died from wounds.
Yeah,
And then she had a third baby, and the same male, tried to also kill her third baby as well.
okay.
And you thought, what is wrong here? There's some psychotic thing. He's got something very serious grudge against that female. What is it? But as we're biologists, we're looking at other things which are going on. And the pattern was that we know the gestation length of pregnancy in a chimpanzee. So if we count back to when each of those three babies was conceived,
Oh,
the mother was not around.
yeah,
She was not here. So she was either in the next community or she was with one of the other males very far
Yeah.
away. So definitely they were not his child. So he's tried to kill three babies who were not his.
yeah.
So you say, but how does he know they're not his? Well, do you think he's sitting there counting the 8.5 months gestation period
Yeah.
backward from when the infant was born?
Sounds
He's not doing that.
incredible, yeah.
That would be quite a terrible challenge. I think what is more likely is, if you look at certainly the first case was seen well. The male and the female were sitting together in a friendly way. The female was grooming the male. Between them was the baby. Now, suddenly, from this peaceful scene, the male stands up, grabs the baby, runs off, kills it by hitting on a tree trunk, and then eats it. And it's like he suddenly decided to kill it.
Yeah,
And so what? But the way I think about it, he was sitting there right close together, and definitely what the male could smell was the smell of the baby.
yeah,
Definitely. And it may be that in the smell of the baby, you can tell, this is not one of ours,
yeah.
like that. Because there have been one or two of the other cases can be explained that way. Also in the 100 miles to the south of here, there have been some killings of males killing babies within their own society. And generally, it's from females who are not very much around and maybe conceive the baby
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah, that was one of my questions. If this infanticide is all over in chimpanzee groups, or is it some speciality of Gombe?
Well, certainly it happens at Mahale, which is 100 miles away.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about chimps to tell you, but certainly the very good chimpanzee studies in Uganda at the Budongo forest and in Kanewara, they've got very good observations and they can answer your question,
okay.
but I can't answer it. I might answer it by email later, but not straight away.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah. There are so many interesting things about which I would like to ask you, but because I know that you are baboon specialist, are there similarities or differences to the baboons in this point of view of infanticide? And
It's a good question, and there are differences. I mean, there is infanticide, but the story is different. Okay? Now, baboon society is completely the opposite of chimp society. I said chimp society is a lot of males, and then there are females who are not related to them, may move around. Baboons are the other way up. Baboon society is a lot of related females all together. A great-great-grandmother, a great-grandmother, a grandmother, sisters, cousins, and they all move as a group, okay? So what happens then is for a male who's born in that group and he grows up, when he's interested in mating with females, all the females available to him are related to his mother.
Okay.
They're all relatives of his mother. So I'm not saying he's deciding this, but the pattern is, which baboons have got, is that the males have to emigrate.
Okay.
And 99% of males leave the group they were born in to breed elsewhere. Right. So if you look at the prospects of that male, he somehow gets his way into another group. The males there don't want him.
They are already really grown up, or
They're grown up. They wait till they're grown up.
yeah,
They wait till
they
they...
have that final weight, or when I see baboon groups, I have often the impression there are quite a lot of different sizes, and I have the impression they grow quite a long time. So they are really like the strongest ones. They are already as big as the strongest one when they leave their group.
Yeah, they are, because a female baboon she's fertile when she's 5 years old, but a male baboon doesn't really reach his full size till he's 7 or 8. So when he reaches full size, he's ready to go, and he's strong, and he's got very sharp teeth and very fierce, and so he tries to move into the next group. The males there don't want him, and they try to get rid of him, but they're also scared of him because he's young and strong, and they don't know his strength. He's a stranger, so there's that kind of fear as well. Right. So he's got what he's got to do now is he's got to try to get into the male hierarchy and become a highest ranking male as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Because a high ranking male has access to more food, but most importantly has access to the best females for mating. Okay, so he goes into the group, and say he's successful, he climbs up very quickly to knock down the dominant male. He becomes the top male or number 2.
Yeah.
And so he's very strong and high ranking, and he can access females. But the females who are there, most of them are suckling their young, so they're not fertile, or they're pregnant, they're not fertile, and there's only 2 or 3 who are fertile, and they're all competing for those same females. So the future of it is that he's not going to be high ranking for very long, because when he's been there for a year, another young guy like him is coming in, maybe 2. So after that he's trying to reduce the speed at which he drops down the hierarchy. He's trying to stay up as long as he can. So he's got a short time to breed, basically. So what he does is within the first 6 months, when he's never even fathered any infants there, he can kill babies.
Okay.
And what you find is...
They also eat them then?
Not usually,
no.
No? No. Because killing babies is a very bad thing to do. And the last thing you want is to be chased out by all the males and all the females together. Okay. So generally speaking, a male who kills a baby will leave the scene quickly. Okay. So he's not seen to be guilty, see what I mean? Okay. Not guilty of murder. Okay. So this is most clear in a very small baboon group. Some of them are so small that there's only one male breeding. Okay. Okay. So if a new male comes in, kicks out that male, then all the babies there are not his. Okay. They're not his, so he can kill all of them. Okay. Okay. So that's
the end. Somehow silently that nobody realizes.
Well, it's not so bad there because there's no. If he's the only male, nobody can really chase him out. Okay. So he can kill them, and it does happen characteristically in quite a lot of primates who live in groups with one male. Gorillas do it. These monkeys which are just ahead of us now do it. If there's a one male group, you could get infanticide because the guys, he knows he's breeding in the group and he won't have long. He'll be kicked out. So quickly kill the babies, and then the mothers very quickly come back into breeding condition. He can mate with them, bang, 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 and he can make them pregnant. And hopefully he'll stay around long enough to defend those babies till they become 2 or 3 years old.
how does he know that it's not that they are not his babies? Does he have some kind of uh, knowledge that it is not possible that it's his baby, or or is it also about smell, like you told me about the chimpanzees?
And I think, no, he's acting on instinct.
Yeah,
His instinct tells him at the beginning,
yeah,
kill babies. Because at the beginning, within 6 months,
yeah.
he cannot have fathered any of those babies. Because
Okay.
the gestation is 6
Yeah,
months long.
but he has no. I suppose he has no thinking about the time before him being there.
I don't
But
think so.
yeah, do you think there's an instinct
It's an instinct.
which tells him I'm new here,
Yeah.
therefore those babies are not
Yeah,
mine,
I can kill
and it's not smell.
No, it's not small.
Oh, that's
I think he just has an incoming male
yeah.
has a tendency to kill babies
Okay.
because it'll benefit him in the long run. He will have more children that
Okay,
way.
that's interesting.
I mean, lions do it. You've heard
Yeah,
lions
yeah,
do
yeah,
it as
no,
well.
yeah.
The same thing. So, but the thing is, in a one male group,
Yeah.
if only one male, it's easy. There's
Yeah.
no defense of those babies. But our groups of baboons here have 10 males, 5 males, 15
Okay,
males in
yeah.
them. And so it's much harder for him to kill babies without being detected.
Okay.
And because the males who are there are anyway chasing them away, making so they're kind of defending the females. The males there are defending the females with babies. So it's much less likely that he will
Okay.
be able to kill them. But I think it's an instinct they have, but it's not fulfilled most of the time.
Okay.
It's
Somehow.
it's
It sounds a little like that they are when they are new in the group they're in a different state of mind or than when they are a long time in the group and have
absolutely, yeah. Because when they were new in the group, they have no friendships.
yeah,
The males are their enemies.
yeah,
They're not their colleagues, and the females, they don't know them. And the females who have baby, when a new male baboon arrives, the mothers with young babies will avoid him
yeah,
to protect their babies.
They know that somehow,
They see there's a danger.
yeah,
But the females who are in breeding condition, they're opposite. They will come towards him. They're
Yeah.
interested in him.
yeah,
They're really attracted to a strange male.
yeah,
That is something
Yeah.
which is quite common in primates, that
Yeah.
females like a strange male.
okay,
And so for those ones, he can mate with them quite easily. So he's in a position that he's not accepted by the males, and most of the females are avoiding him. Some
Yeah.
of the young ones are even being scared of him,
Yeah.
and it is only certain females who are mating who are interested in him. So that's a stage of life which,
Okay.
after 6 months or 9, changes. The females all are used to him. The males have kind of got used to them. Maybe they even collaborate with one another in fighting. It's like you can get 2 males fighting against another male,
Okay.
things like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I would have so many more questions, but I mostly make my videos not very long. But one very difficult final question I have. What do you think is the connection to mankind? Does this infanticide? There's a lot of infanticide in mankind also somehow, in wars or sometimes or other situations. We don't have. I think we don't have the instinct so much. We cannot smell if a child is our own.
We can.
We can.
I believe we can.
Okay.
Just we don't know.
Okay.
I believe in our friendship, if you like somebody,
Yeah.
maybe his smell has something to do
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
If you choose her, not her,
Yeah,
maybe this,
yeah.
we're unconscious.
Yeah.
We just behave according to
Yeah.
what we have.
Yeah.
So, I think in humans, there are cases of men killing babies
Yeah.
who are not theirs.
Yeah.
My wife, you've had a child by somebody else, so you killed the baby.
Yeah.
And then there's infanticide for population regulation in China,
Yeah.
and all kind of many reasons. Because
Yeah.
basically, what it means is these primates have their ways of behaving, which allows them to continue as a species, allows their family
Yeah.
to thrive, and these are mostly instinctive behaviors. But also on top of that, they're very clever.
Okay.
Okay, they're very clever. An example would be, for example, a good one is, a male baboon, let's say he's been in the group a long time, and he's got a good relationship with this female, and he's friendly with the baby, who is probably his.
Yeah.
Okay. Now a new male comes in,
Yeah.
and if you want to defend yourself against a new male, you can use the baby as a hostage. You pick up the baby and you hold it,
Yeah.
because it's forbidden to attack young babies.
Okay.
So then your rival there will not attack you because you're holding a baby, and he knows you will defend strongly that baby, and he can't attack you. Okay. So they carry babies for defense.
Okay.
Now sometimes, some of them, this is where the brain comes in, some of them realize, oh, well, he seems to be avoiding me because I have a baby. So he'll then pick up the baby and he'll carry him towards his rival.
Okay.
And he may even chase him away, holding the baby on his stomach. So what is he doing now? He's exploiting the baby and putting it in danger for his own advancement. Okay? And in those circumstances, they may end up fighting and the baby may be killed. So most of the time, the protectiveness of holding the baby like this is protective. But a percentage of the time, they will exploit it and put the baby in danger. And that is their intelligence working, okay? It's not working to protect my baby, it's working to protect myself.
Okay.
See what I mean? Yeah. And I think there are a lot of cases where a lot of animals have instinctive behaviors, but primates, they can see the effect of what I'm doing now is this. And so they start to behave in ways which maybe don't make very great sense.
Yeah.
Even, I'll tell you, the best chimpanzee mother, Gremlin, she's a really, really good mother, and with very strong maternal instinct. When her daughter had her first baby, they were sitting there, and another female who they know is a killer, infanticidal female, arrives. So Gremlin takes her daughter's child to protect it, although she's already got her own child, so she's carrying two babies like that. Now, fine, she protected the baby from the infanticidal female, good, but then she didn't give it back. Why? Because she loves the baby so much, and she'd recently reared twins, so she's happy, I would say happy, to have two babies on her chest. So she didn't give the baby back to her daughter.
Okay.
The baby was kept away from the mother, and she kept it so long that in the end it died because she didn't have milk.
Oh.
So she caused the death of her baby because of her love of her babies. See what I mean?
Story. I think that there are so many things, but I think this little tragic story it makes a good end for this interview. Of course, there would be thousands of things which I would love to ask you, but we have not enough time. And
maybe I can just summarize one thing. When Jane Goodall studied chimpanzees after 10 years, she said chimpanzees are just like us, only nicer.
Yeah.
Then in the next 10 years, all these bad stories started to come out. So she says, after 20 years, she says, chimpanzees are just like us. They're really good, but they have a bad side as well, like we do. Yeah. That's the answer. So all these bad things I've been saying are part of a bigger, good picture.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good word for the end of this video. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And I hope we will have soon other possibility.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you again. We can talk more.
Yeah,
in
that
August.
would be great.